Okay, welcome to Subway Energy Academy, the training section of Subway Energy Limited. We want to take you on a journey to unravel the secrets, the nitty-gritty surrounding the solar industry, and common mistakes end users make, professionals and amateurs make in the solar industry while venturing into the solar industry. Subway Energy Academy is the training section of Subway Energy Limited. You can see our logo here, and we are here to inform you. We are here to train you. We are here to empower you. And this training empowerment will translate into employment. Basically, we are in Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State to be precise. You can see our office. Setting the foundation. First of all, what are we into? What is the service that Subway Energy Limited provide? That takes care of our services. We are into solar system consulting services. That is, if you want to go solar, you can consult us and we will give you professional advice. We are into ultra-modern solar system design. There is no size of solar system installation that we can not design, as you will see in the course of this discussion. There is no size of solar system installation that we cannot install and equally maintain. We train both online and offline. Our training is always hybrid, a combination of online training and physical training. We sell solar components of any kind. Basically, we are into general electrical, solar system, and other things. So when power generation is your priority, all you need to do is to contact us. Yes, contact us. Let us do it for you in your home, your office, your business, school, supermarket, church, even if you want to power your industry or an entire village. Subway Energy Limited can handle any size of solar system installation, from power audits, commissioning to maintenance. So basically, you can always check our website on www.subwaylimited.com. If you are interested in our training, you can log into www.asukas.com. We call this session First Thing First. First thing first. The secrets made simple. These secrets elude many, and we want to be a blessing to you who is listening to us. We want to tell you the secrets and the nitty-gritty surrounding the solar industry. For more information, you can always chat us up on WhatsApp using the numbers on the screen here, or you can visit our YouTube channel. If you are not visiting our website, you can visit our YouTube channel to see some of our signature projects at Subway Energy Limited, at Subway Energy Limited. When you Google it, you get access to our YouTube channel. Then know your instructor. Who I am. I am Engineer Asanga by name. I'm from Akwa Ibom State, a result-oriented solar consultant in the making. I am Engineer Asanga from Akwa Ibom State, a result-oriented solar consultant in the making, a publisher and author of 7 best solar textbooks in the solar industry as at when this recording is made. As at when this recording is made, I have personally published 7 best solar textbooks in the solar industry. Then, what brought you here? I am here basically to educate. I am here basically to educate, to inform, and to mentor, then aspire somebody who is interested. I want to educate you in the solar industry. I want to equally inform you in the solar industry, to mentor you and to inspire you to the next level in the solar industry. Why do we have this live session? Why do we have this training? Basically, we want to dive deeper into the secrets and nitty-gritty surrounding the solar industry as documented inside of our textbooks. We want to dive deeper into the secrets and nitty-gritty surrounding the solar industry as documented in our textbook. So why you need to join our training plus free access to our textbooks when you join our training. Basically, this information will lead to us inviting you to more elaborate information when it has to do with the solar industry. Let's take you to some of our signature projects. Like you can see here, this is a residential solar system installation. You can see here still a residential solar system installation. This is a mini grid project that powers an entire community. This is a mini grid project that powers an entire community. A commercial solar system installation. Some of our signature projects. We will not fail to recognize our boss, Supremo Solar Resources Limited, for giving us the platform to learn under his company. So he is who make us what we are today. So these are some of our signature projects. As you can see, this is also a mini grid project that powers an entire community. Let's take you to some of our publications. This is Solar Exclusive, the secret made simple. When you DM me or you are in our WhatsApp group or any other way, we will make the course contents of all these textbooks available for your own assessment. Our Solar Companion, the designer's guide. Solar Exploit, the big boss approach. Solar Companion 2, 49 reasons why your solar system installation fell. Roof racking, that is solar roof racking, a compendium of decades of our experience in the solar industry. We have a complete guide to solar tools and accessories. Every tools that we have been using in the solar industry, we have documented them here. We have profiting from the sun. profiting from the sun. Those are some of our publications as at when this video is made. So you want to learn everything about solar system design, installation, business of that you can do in the solar industry. You need to get in touch with our textbooks. So these are some of the session, the physical training session we have with some of our students. I visited my boss and we had this in Abuja, the capital of our country. So you can see they were certified after the physical training. So we run both online and physical training. We run both online and physical training, and you are certified at the end of whether the online training or the physical training. You get certified at the end of the training. Those were just intro before we dive into the business of what brought us here. Let's take a closer look at Module 2, photovoltaic system types. Photovoltaic system types. Please pardon me, I have to take things one at a time so that you understand. Basically, if you want to go solar, or you are a professional, you are an end user who intends to go solar, there are certain questions you need to ask yourself. As a professional, there are certain questions you need to ask your clients. One of it is, what type of solar system will be the best for your clients? This takes us to the different types of solar systems we have in the solar industry. Some professionals don't understand that we have different types of solar system installation, and the different types of solar system installation determine the costs, determine the design, determine the mode of the installation. It as well determine the materials you select for the different types of solar system installation. So the very first on our list is the photovoltaic battery charging system, the integrated photovoltaic battery charging systems. When we say integrated, that means it is made up of different components fused into one. It is made up of different components fused into one for you to have your solar system that can power the electrical load that is adequately or professionally designed for that type of solar system. So in this case, you have your PV, your charge controller, your storage battery, your electrical load, and application. Most of these type of system come with application, and most people call it the solar kits. The application is to enable people buy them on installment basis, so that if they refuse to pay at the end of the month, the application will shut down the system and the person will not have power to power his or her electrical loads again. So when you have your PV, your charge controller, your PV is usually separate. Your PV is not fused into other components. It is the charge controller, the solar battery, the electrical, the application that are fused into one pack in a box format. In a box format, you have the application would be there, the battery would be there, the charge controller will be there, and the inverter as well will be there. The inverter as well will be there because it is the inverter that will convert DC to AC. But in some cases, if they are using DC loads, the inverter will not be part of the system. So at the end of the day, you have your solar energy. So here, all the solar components, the solar panel, the solar battery, the charge controller, inverter, plus AC loads, including applications, are incorporated into a single package. So your inverter will be in the box, your charge controller would be in the box, your battery would be in the box. Then your solar panel will be external. Then you can connect it and it will power your electrical load. Example are the solar kits. We have some solar radio, solar lighting, solar lantern, and light. This is a typical example of what we are saying. You have this box here. The solar panel is connected because it is what generates the DC that is needed to charge the solar battery that is inside of this box. So this other charger can be used directly with your AC if you have NEPA lights or generator to still charge the battery that is here, because the battery is what stores the power that will be needed afterwards. So you can have your electrical loads here, your 9-watt lead bulb. This kind of system, you use energy saving electrical appliances, so integrated photovoltaic battery charging systems. So these are your, I'm using pictorial illustration to show you what I mean here. So this is your electrical load. This is your electrical load. You can use it to charge your phone. You can run your DC fan with it. So inverter powers AC electronics. DC port powers DC electronics, as simple as you can see here. So we can call this type of system solar kits. Some people call it solar generator. So it depends on the usage. So this is the very first type of solar system that we have in the solar industry. So basically, there are advantages and disadvantages of each of the type of solar system that we are going to discuss here. The essence, the reason why we explain this is so that when you want to go solar, you should know exactly the type of solar system that you need. Because if you want to buy a phone, you will first of all look at how much do I have? What would be the purpose of this phone? If you want to buy a car, the same thing is applicable. So you need to know how much is your budget for buying the car. What purpose will this car serve me? So those are the things that you need to understand before going solar. And if you just say, I want to go solar without having fair knowledge of the type of solar system installation that you need, there will be problem at the end of the day. So that is the reason we are trying to educate you on the different types of solar systems that we have in the solar industry. And each of it come with its attendance, advantages, and disadvantages. So the advantages of the integrated photovoltaic battery charging system is that it is cheap to have solar energy with this configuration. It is cheap. It is very cheap. Depending on your location, you can buy it using the installment package, or you can buy it outright. So installation is pretty simple. Installation is very easy. So the disadvantages of those are the advantages when you want to talk about the integrated photovoltaic battery charging system. So the disadvantages of this system, this type of system, is that it cannot carry several loads. You cannot run AC with it. You cannot pump water with it. So these integrated photovoltaic battery charging systems cannot carry several loads. I call it solar kits. We have some that are ESS, but that is not what I'm trying to talk about here. So it cannot carry several loads. It cannot carry heavy loads. So those are the setback that we have when it has to do with the integrated photovoltaic charging system as one of the type of solar system installation that we have in the solar industry. So another type of solar system that we have is the day-use system. The day-use systems. When we say day-use systems, it comes in different varieties and version. It comes with different varieties and version. So let's take a look at it. So these are solar solutions that only operate during the day without a storage mechanism. So there consists of modules wired directly to a DC appliance with no storage device. The sun shines on the module and DC is generated that powers the DC load. Listen, when I say day-use system, I'm saying that it comes in different varieties. And the very first one we are talking about here is the one that is devoid of battery. The one that does not carry battery. So there are solar solutions that only operate during the day without a storage mechanism. There are some that we call day-use system, and basically you operate it during the day and you can operate it as well as night. But let's look at the very first one here. So we have the PV, electrical load, basically DC in nature. You have your solar energy, PV plus electrical load. The electrical load must be DC in nature because we don't have the inverter here that will convert the DC to AC. But there is another type of day-use system, which is the batteryless solution that we will see in the course of this discussion, that converts from DC to AC, still without the charging system. So the day-use systems we are talking about here is like your water pump that we have in our communities, solar generated borehole. You can see your switch here. Your water pump is on the ground that will help us get access to water. Then your solar panels are here. The sun will shine on it and it generates DC. This pump must be DC in nature, and your water will be pumped to the tank here. You can always have access to water during the daytime. At night, this system will not operate. So this is typically one example of the day-use system. So we have another day-use system here, like what I already said, is the batteryless configuration. Some people are not too familiar with this type of system. We call it the batteryless solution or the batteryless configuration, in which you don't have the solar battery installed. Maybe the person, your client, doesn't have the financial muscle to buy all the components at once. So you can get your solar panels and you get your inverter, you connect it and you still have access to solar energy. When the client is financially buoyant, you can incorporate the solar battery. We have each of the solar component has its peculiar function. Basically, your charge controller is to regulate charging of the solar battery. So if you don't have the charge controller, if you don't have the solar battery incorporated into the system, there will be no need for charge controller. So this system, you connect your solar panels directly to the inverter. The inverter will convert it directly to AC load, and you will have solar system that can power your electrical load. They are going to be AC electrical load because this solar inverter will have that ability to convert the DC generated to AC. Basically, most of our installation I showed you make use of Fronius inverter. Some of these inverters have that ability to convert from DC to AC that you can use to run your electrical load. But there are setbacks. There are setbacks when it has to do with this type of system. You can see here, these are some of the day-use system that we have been talking about. You can have your DC fan. You can have your DC fan here. You can have your solar battery, and you have your solar panel here. You can, there's no inverter here. This is the lithium ion battery. The lithium ion battery, the solar panel here will charge this battery, and you can connect DC loads to this battery and you have access to power. This kind of system, this particular one, you can as well use it at night. You can as well use it at night because there is a storage system here. So you can have your borehole here, solar generated borehole, like what we already discussed. So let's look at some of the advantages of the day-use systems. We say day-use systems are categorized differently. So we will not be able to talk about the advantages of each of the day-use system, whether it comes with a battery storage or without a battery storage, whether it is the batteryless solution. Let's just join everything that has to do with day-use system, and we talk about the advantages and the disadvantages. So one of the advantage is that it is not too costly compared to a full solar system installation. Not too costly, not too complex to install compared to a complete solar system installation. You can get your panel and connect to your electrical load. You start having power as simple as it can be. So let's look at the disadvantages of the day-use system. So can only carry DC load except the batteryless setup that incorporate the solar inverter but run only during the day. It can only carry this kind of systems, carry only DC loads, except the batteryless solution that we said that the battery will be, the solar charge controller will be able to convert DC to AC. But remember, the batteryless solution, you can't operate it at night. So the loads can only be operated during the day, except the type of day-use system that incorporates storage battery. The loads can only be operated during the day, except those ones with storage battery. Insolation fluctuations poses a serious threat to the usability of this solar setup, like the batteryless solution that converts DC to AC. When there is fluctuation in the sun radiation, you would have a variation in the power supply that you are getting to power your electrical loads. And this kind of the batteryless solution, maybe you cannot use it to power heavy loads. So those are some of the disadvantages. This setup experiences irregularities in voltage and current as a result of variation in insulation. Higher insulation level results in increased power output and vice versa. Can't carry heavy loads with high surge currents for a brief period. I've already said this. So those are some of the disadvantages of the day use system. Let's look at direct current systems with storage battery. Don't forget that we are still talking about the different types of solar system in the solar industry, and this information will help you make informed decision when you want to go solar. Because if you know the type of solar system that you need, you will not be jumping from pillar to pole. This will help you understand the components that you need for your solar system setup. So let's look at direct current system with storage batteries. DC, when we say direct current, that is DC. It can only be used to power DC load. But in this case, we have storage batteries. In this case, we have storage batteries. If you go to some hospitals, they use fridge to preserve some of their samples. They don't see the need to install a complete solar, so they make use of DC fridge. We have DC AC, we have DC fan. So this kind of solar setup make use of DC loads, and you don't need an inverter here. Remember, your inverter is basically to convert DC to AC. So if you are using DC electrical loads, you don't need an inverter. But basically you need your solar panels. You actually need your solar panels. You need your charge controller, because your charge controller is to regulate your battery charging, and your battery will be used to power your electrical load, which must be DC in nature. In this setup, you cannot use AC electrical appliances. So you can see your PV, your charge controller, your battery, and basically electrical loads that must be DC in nature will still give you solar energy. So let's look at the advantages of this particular type of solar system setup. That is the advantages of the direct current system with storage battery. Can be powered anytime compared to day use solar configuration. Because of the storage battery, you can use it during the day and at night. This system can power heavy DC loads that require high surge current for a brief period. Another advantage of the solar battery is to assist you power such loads, such loads with high surge during a brief period. So this kind of system, the direct current system with storage battery, will enable you power such loads. So let's look at the disadvantages of direct current system with storage battery. The disadvantages of direct current system with storage battery. Since we say it is direct current, the disadvantage is that it can only power DC loads. You cannot use AC on this kind of system. What this implies is that if you want to use this kind of system, you have to go and buy DC electrical appliances. There are sold out there in your vicinity, so you look out for them. And basically installing this kind of solar system, they are not too costly. So let's look at, because they are not too costly, because you don't need an inverter. You don't need an inverter to power your electrical load, because you will not be running AC electrical load. Let's look at another type of solar system installation that we have in the solar industry, and we refer to this as the stand-alone or off-grid solar systems. The stand-alone or the off-grid solar system. When we say a system is a stand-alone system, that means you will not need any other power source to charge your solar battery. It is only the solar panel that will do the charging. It is only the solar panel that will do all the charging. So we call this the stand-alone system, the stand-alone or off-grid. When we say off-grid, that means we are talking about PHCN. Some people don't need a solar system installation that is hybrid. When I say hybrid, you charge with this PHCN and you charge with the solar panel. So let's take a closer look at the stand-alone or off-grid solar system. When we say stand-alone, I've already said that it is only the solar panel that will do all the charging. And installing this type of solar system is usually very costly. It is usually very costly because you need enormous number of solar panels to do the charging compared to installing an hybrid system that you also use the PHCN or generator to charge it. So we call this the stand-alone system, in which some people need this as the only solution because they don't have PHCN in their facility. So you have your solar panels, your charge controller, your inverter, and your solar battery bank, and you'll be able to charge to power all your electrical loads. Let's take a look at the advantages and disadvantages of the stand-alone or off-grid solar system. Don't forget that we are still talking about the different types of solar system installation in the solar industry. And this information, like we rightly said, will help you make wise and informed decisions when you are going solar. So best choice for AC loads that most of our electrical appliances can handle such loads and any size of load. Since you have your battery, it can handle it. Since you have your inverter incorporated into the system, it can handle AC electrical appliances. So this type of system can as well be used anytime if the solar system installation is properly installed. So let's look at the disadvantages of the stand-alone or off-grid solar system. The stand-alone or the off-grid solar system. It is very costly to install. High cost of installation. High cost of solar system installation. When you are talking about the stand-alone or off-grid solar system installation, you are going to buy many solar panels. You are going to buy many solar battery because there is no other power source. You don't have PHCN and you don't have NEPA light in it. Yes, you don't have PHCN, or some people call it NEPA light, and you don't have generator in your facility. So it is only your solar battery and your solar panel. Your solar panel is to charge your solar battery, and it is your solar panel that will generate all the needed power while the solar battery will be preserving. So you need enormous battery bank to run your electrical load, especially at night. So it is always complexity in installation. That does not mean that you will not be able to install it. So but we are saying that it is complexity in installation, and we say that it is high cost of installation, especially when heavy loads need to be powered with solar system. Heavy load means a bigger system size, many number of solar battery and solar panel. This high cost can be minimized if heavy loads are powered with other alternative sources. So let's look at the backup solar system. The backup solar system. The backup solar system. Why do we call it the backup solar system? Is because in this setup you already have your PHCN, or you already have your generator that you will be using to charge your battery. You can see in this backup solar solution, we don't necessarily need the solar panel. The solar panel is not part of the installation. If you incorporate the solar panel here, you automatically change the type of solar system. So in this type of solar system, you need your battery and you need the inverter. The utility and your generator will assist in charging the battery, so that maybe when utility goes off or you shut down your generator, the inverter here can convert the DC stored inside of the solar battery into AC that would power your electrical load. Basically, each type of solar system installation comes with advantages and disadvantages. Let's take a closer look at the advantages of the backup solar solution. Not as costly as a standalone system. The standalone system is usually the highest in terms of cost. In terms of cost, it is always the most costly solar system that you can ever think of. So not as costly as a standalone system, not as complex to install as a standalone system. So let's look at the disadvantages of a backup solar system. Easily prone to failure if not carefully managed. This type of system, because there is no solar panel, the end user might not be able to understand how to manage this type of solar system, because immediately maybe the PHCN goes off, especially in locations where you don't have adequate PHCN in that location. They might think that they are using the battery normally, but remember, your battery life is a function of the charge and discharge rates you give to your solar battery. So it might be that if you don't educate them how to use the system professionally or appropriately, or how to manage loads, this system is easily prone to failure if not adequately managed. Then let's look at the hybrid or on-grid solar system. The hybrid or on-grid solar system. When we say hybrid, in this case, we are not talking about hybrid inverter, so don't be confused. When we say hybrid, we are talking about a combination of different power sources to charge your solar battery. We are talking about a combination of different power sources to charge your solar battery. So we can see here we have your solar panels here. Throw the charge controller, get it to the solar battery, and you use it to charge. The solar inverter will take power from the solar battery, and you'll be using it to power your electrical load. The utility is connected to the system, your generator is connected to the system, and your solar panels are connected to the system. So this type of solar system installation, we call it the hybrid or on-grid solar system installation. Remember, we talk about off-grid or standalone. Please don't be confused. So let's look at the advantages of hybrid or on-grid solar system installation. it does not require much solar battery, which invariably does not require much solar panels, and this greatly reduces the initial cost of solar system installation. Other sources of power are readily available to power electrical loads during days of autonomy or during worst case weather condition. So if you stay in an environment that at least you have like 5 hours of PHCN, that is NEPA light, you can think of an hybrid setup in which the number of solar panels will not be much and the number of solar battery will not be much, because sometimes you have your NEPA light that will be used to charge the solar battery. Sometimes you have your NEPA light that will be used to run the electrical load. So your solar system will sometimes rest. And as you are using it, your inverter, your PHCN is helping you charge your battery, and your solar panel equally is supporting the charging. So in this case, you would not need so much number of solar battery and so much number of solar panels. So because other power sources is really, or there are really readily available. So let's look at the disadvantages of the hybrid or the on-grid solar systems. Let's look at the disadvantages of the hybrid or the on-grid solar system. What are the disadvantages of this solar system installation? There is still dependency on other power sources. There are some people that need power. They say, I don't need any other source. I need a standalone system. I need a standalone system. They don't need any other power source. So when you are installing the hybrid setup, that means you still pay NEPA bill, you still spend money to buy fuel or diesel to run some of your electrical loads. So that is one of the disadvantages. There is still dependency on other power sources as compared to the standalone system, in which even though you don't have the NEPA light in your facility, you are living in a very remote area that you don't have NEPA, you can still generate power and power all your electrical loads. This works for those people that they don't have the hope that NEPA will be available for them. So the kind of solar system or the type of solar system that they need is the standalone solar system. So let's look at another type of solar system, which is the grid-tied without the battery storage. The grid-tied without the battery storage. Remember, I talked about the batteryless solution. The batteryless solution, this is peculiar to the residential setup, residential installation. But if you want to go commercial, you want to sell your power, you can have a system, like I said, the Fronius inverter. You can have a system set up, you generate power and you sell it to the grid. Though this is not common in some countries. This is not common in some countries. So this kind of inverter, the Fronius inverter, we call it the string inverter, can generate power and you sell it to the grid. You sell it to the grid. So we call it the grid-tied without battery storage. The grid-tied without battery storage. We use then, and we also we use this kind of system, especially when we are going for commercial or mini grid projects. So grid-tied without battery storage, but we have this, the grid-tied with battery storage. The grid-tied with battery storage. This particular one is a setup in which you set it up and you have your battery storage. And the Fronius inverter will as well be powering your electrical load directly when your solar battery is fully charged. The Fronius inverter, the batteryless solution, like I already said, have that ability to convert the solar, the DC energy to AC directly to be used to power your electrical load. This will help you reduce the number of battery storage you would have needed to run your electrical load. So this will help you run most of your electrical, especially during the daytime, so that your solar battery will be preserved for night electrical load. So like we already said that if you look at some of our signature projects, Subway Energy Limited is the right plug. I say Subway Energy Limited is the right plug if you want to go solar. If you want to install solar in your facility, make sure that you connect with us using any of the links we have given. You can WhatsApp us, you can call us, you can to go to our YouTube channel. You can go there and check some of our signature projects. We are still talking about first thing first in the solar industry. So the very first point we have talked about as a summary is the different types of solar system that we have in the solar industry. So when you want to go solar, please study the different types of solar system that we have discussed and make wise decision. Know which one will be suitable for you. Know which particular type of solar system installation will be best for you. If you are a professional, don't just tell a client this is how much going solar will be involved. Try to liaise, try to communicate with him to know the type of solar system installation that is appropriate for the client. Let's look at another concept, which is why choose a particular source of energy for your electrical load. Don't forget that we are here to inform you. We are here to educate you. You are here to mentor you, so that when you want to go solar, maybe you don't want to consult us to handle it for you. You know the right approach. You know how to avoid costly mistakes that other people are making in the solar industry. So why choose a particular source of energy for your electrical load? It is not everybody that needs solar. Yes, I have to tell you that not everybody needs solar in their facility. So why will you go for a particular power source? So each source of power generation comes with its own attendant advantages and disadvantages. Some people use generator to run their electrical load. Some people use PHCN to run their electrical load. Some people use radioactive substances to run their electrical load. Some people use the solar energy to run their electrical load. So what should inform you of the type of power generation you should adopt? The very first thing on our list is the cost. The very first thing on our list is the cost of solar system installation. What do I mean by the cost? The cost is how much will it cost you to go solar? How much will it cost you to go solar? So you have to consider the cost, whether it will be to your best interest. Some people will look at, they have PHCN in their facility. They have PHCN in their facility. And maybe the cost of subscription is not much. So why go solar? The PHCN is giving you the needed power. So why go solar that maybe you might spend a fortune to install it? So there are certain power sources which are cost prohibitive to adopt, and one should carefully analyze the cost implication, the comfort, reliability, durability, and the return on investment one will enjoy while adopting a particular source of energy. Yes, you have to sit down and do feasibility study of each of the power source you want to adopt for your electrical load. We are not forcing everybody to go solar because not everybody can afford going solar, and not everybody needs solar in their facility because they have other alternative sources that might be cheaper than using the solar energy. So technological development is the present technology in your environment supporting the use of a particular source of power for your electrical load. There are some areas that are remote. There is no enough technological advancement that will enable the country adopt certain methods of generating power for the citizens in that country. So environmental condition, the impact of using a particular source of power should be carefully analyzed, should be carefully considered while considering the source of power generation. Like I've already said that there are some technology that uses radioactive substances to generate power. Is it environmentally friendly? So you should always think twice. It's always wise to ask the simple question: what would be the impact of using this source of energy for power generation? Don't just jump into any power source and you start implementing it. Is it environmentally friendly? So government policies, there are some power generation method that the government will not adopt in a particular environment. So you have to adhere to the government policy in the area. So durability. When you want to adopt any source of power, you should always ask yourself, is this source of power durable? Is it durable? Will it sustain me? So it will not be wisdom to invest in a power source when you know it will not be durable, irrespective of how small the cost might be. So always look at the cost implication, irrespective of how cheap that power source might be. Is it durable? So you have to always think about durability because money is not easy to go by. So let's talk about reliability. You want to adopt any power source. Is it reliable? Will you be able to be having power as at when you need it? So that is reliability. Solar is very, very reliable if it is properly installed and maintained. So the question one should answer is the question one should answer as he or she ventures into investing into any power source is it reliable? Will this power be reliable compared to other power sources? Like I've already said that the solar source, if you are using solar as your source of power, if it is properly designed and installed, it is very reliable. So why people are not tapping into the huge potential that the sun provides? Why people are not tapping into the huge potential that the sun provides?